Hey guys, I'm so excited to do this. So I posted on Instagram a couple weeks ago asking if anybody would be interested in a deck and album of the month for every month, like as a monthly installment on the channel. And I'm so excited because like a bunch of you actually said that you were totally on board for that and would love that. So what I decided to do is on Instagram, if you follow me on there, on my story, not as much in my posts any longer, because I know some of you guys are not music people and sometimes it irritates you when I'm constantly posting songs on Instagram. I'm not going to change who I am, of course, and so music is a huge part of my spiritual path and my how I work with my decks. So on my Instagram story, I'm going to post here and there like songs that I'm listening to or deck songs and certain cards that I feel are very compatible together. And I'll also be posting like little clips with certain aspects of the album and deck of the month. Now, it is the end of February, but I wanted to do one for February because I'm that excited about making these videos. Music is a huge deal in my life. It's saved my life countless times. It's a huge part of how I process. It's a huge part of my work, and it's a huge part of my spiritual journey. And I listen to a broad spectrum of genres, and so you're going to see that reflected over the months to come. But for this month, we're doing the Love Your Inner Goddess deck. Oh my God, I totally just blanked on the name. The Inner Goddess deck. You guys know which one I'm talking about. Hold on one second. Okay, thank goodness I did not fuck that up too much. It is the Love Your Inner Goddess Oracle deck by Lucy Cavendish. So this is the deck for the month of February. And I wanted to do this because and I'm going to be naughty and I'm going to have two albums, not one for this. But the albums that I think of when I work with this deck are really different than my typical music listening choices. And so I thought it might be kind of fun. Like, I know you all are expecting like trad goth music to come out for every deck, but I do listen to a lot of different things. So the deck of the month for February is Love Your Inner Goddess. I'm just going to show you some of the artwork while I talk about like how I feel about this deck. So this deck is kind of like a cheerleader. And at first like glance through the layers, it can feel a little bit like almost too like fluffy and kind of sweet and cheerleadery. But then as you really start to work with the deck, and for me, like drawing cards as I've gone through really, really difficult emotional things in my life, this deck has really come forward as someone that, or a group of energies that are really supportive on you, nice work, on you finding your own inner voice, that sacred feminine within you, the goddess within you, and letting her be fed and feed you. And really allowing this beautiful cycle of an experience to happen. It's a very gentle and allowing and affirmational deck. And I really do encourage using the guidebook with this deck. So I have this deck on my altar a lot because in those moments when I feel really alone, overwhelmed, unsure of how to be the best mom, the best healer, the best friend, the best person that I can be, this deck kind of will give me a little bit of an anchor for where I am in that moment and what I might need to hear from the divine feminine in order to find my voice again, to find myself again. So I keep this deck on my altar for most of the year, believe it or not. And I use it as affirmational reading for clients a lot of the time as well. I think I'll stop at Black Diamond because I love that image. So this is the deck, and that's how she feels. She's very feminine, very much, but she's very romantic. And because she's very romantic, Hozier's Wasteland Baby album is the main album that I associate with her. I know it's a dude's voice, right? But his writing is very I just want to see, like, I don't even know if there's really anything I can show you here. Here's yeah, I'm going to show off my vinyl in this video series as well. Sorry, guys. My little collecting Taurus heart coming out. But Wasteland Baby has this very, like, romantic feel to it. His lyrics are super, like, you know, like Hozier. It's Hozier. It's, like, kind of romantic, a little bit wistful, kind of deep. but also still kind of very much pop, right? Like it's also like this kind of pop level where you're keeping it at the surface too, which I feel like the Love Your Inner Goddess deck totally does when you start working with her. So specific songs that really, really make me feel like Hozier's Wasteland Baby and Love Your Inner Goddess Oracle deck are aligned very well. For me, Nina Cried Power, but also, which one is it? Let's see. Talk, Dinner and Diatribes, Would That I. Those songs really stuck out for me as like her voice. Like I can feel her voice when I listen to this album. And this is an album that does really well, like listening through in its entirety, not just selecting a track or two to play. But if you have to start somewhere, you might want to start with Almost as a way in. To like connecting with this album in regards to the Love Your Inner Goddess Oracle. Now my second album, because I always break my own rules, is Lana Del Rey's Born to Die album. The seminal Lana Del Rey album. It's because it's so poppy and it's kind of a little bit fake like a cheerleader, which when I first started working with Love Your Inner Goddess, I was like, really? Like, we're a little bit like, I don't know if I can handle this sweetsy stuff so much. So Born to Die album has to be associated with this deck for me because of that. Like killer tracks like Blue Jeans and Summertime Sadness, and Lucky Ones, like those songs, even Born to Die, really, the title track, those songs are very much like the meat of the album and my favorite songs off of this album, and also like where I think you can get into like sisterhood and the experience of love and the sacred feminine with the Love Your Inner Goddess Oracle. And then the really like poppy songs like Diet Mountain Dew, Radio, National Anthem, Lolita, like those songs I feel like are more of that like sugary fluffy stuff at the top that you can kind of have when you first start experiencing the Love Your Inner Goddess Oracle, like upon first look, right? Like that's like your first taste is like Diet Mountain Dew. But then you get into it and you get into Blue Jeans and you're like, oh, there's something like really yummy here. But it was really sugary at the top. Like, I don't need all that sugar. Let's get down into Blue Jeans. Let's get into the real thing. So these are the two albums that I associate with the Love Your Inner Goddess Oracle, Hozier's Wasteland Baby and Lana Del Rey's Born to Die. I recommend, if you really want to like hang out with this deck, spend an evening, have your journal, put both albums on, you know, not at the same time, please. I would definitely start with Wasteland Baby because I feel like that's a really good entry point, and then move through to Born to Die. Have your favorite, you know, chosen drink of choice, whether it's a cup of tea or a glass of wine, and just like enjoy looking at the images while you listen to the music and like feeling the vibe of the deck, which is really a very loving deck that's about love, and not just romantic love, and encouraging you to remember what your voice is, even if you choose to tell your story with auto-tune, which I wouldn't always want to hear someone use. But in this case, sometimes it's okay, and it is in this case. So this is February's deck and album of the month. I'm super excited to do this, and like I said, if you are jazzed up about this too and you kind of want to see like how I move through the days with music and cards, because both are so much a part of my life, like I said on my Instagram story, I will be doing that a little bit more just to kind of share that with you guys, because it's literally so much fun for me. I love sharing music with people. I love hearing what people are listening to, discovering new music, and I love sharing music that's changed my life. So much love, many blessings, guys. See you in the next video.